I don't think
Does Monster?
That's right. I don't think Texas Chainsaw Massacre faces anything either.
They should. It means these bastards that drink.
It can be addicting, that's for sure.
All right. Did you take notes?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, I know you didn't take any notes, Chris.
I don't need to. I have it up here. That's my notes. In my brain. I remember everything that happened. Or everything.
All right.
Oh man, Billy's tired, man.
Yeah, I was a little tired.
So you guys don't have time change in Sweden?
We're like 2 weeks behind, so we'll have it like in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so you do have it still.
Yeah, I thought y'all got rid of it.
Oh,
No, they were thinking about something passing or
I
something.
thought they did too, but apparently it didn't go all the way through.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's, right now it's in a standstill. I actually researched this. It's in a standstill right now, in the committees and stuff. So it's they're thinking about it. They're just being kind of slow.
Chris staying on top of the hot button topics.
Yeah. He did research.
Yeah.
I did research for politics, not the movie though. Actually, that reminds me. Let me do this. There it is. All right. Got my facts about the movie pulled up. Oh my god, I looked like a ghost.
Facts about the movie. All right, Josh. You're just making random noises now. I think you're doing it on purpose.
Am I really? Can you hear that?
Yeah. Loud.
Oh.
Well, see, it's not that bad because what I did is I turned down Google Chrome, so now it's within reasonable levels for me. Google Chrome itself. No, it's fine. You're good. You can do what you want. I don't bother me now.
No, I'm not trying to make loud noises.
Somebody has to monitor these things, Chris. Oh,
All right.
Chris did, before we get started, Chris volunteered to run the YouTube page.
I will. I'm not kidding. I will.
Chris, you can't be typing while we record either.
We're not recording yet. I know. I'm just mentioning this guy was playing with.
But Chris like, I'll run it and I'll edit videos for you.
What does running it mean?
Like basically, like I want to have access to upload the videos to YouTube.
You
but
want to
also-
have access. You want to have access.
Yes.
And
No,
Josh,
but I'm also
and Josh told you he was on a probation period.
no. I'm also gonna do a badass intro. I'm gonna create us a badass intro. I'm gonna edit it and everything. I'm gonna put
We have an
it
intro.
Yeah, on iTunes, not on YouTube. And we need a YouTube channel. This dude over here has a YouTube channel, but he doesn't use the YouTube channel like he should be doing.
Well, it's not even a Very Unreasonable Things YouTube channel.
No,
That's-
I have a very unreasonable things ones I created a while back. I just never finished setting it all the
See?
way up.
I thought you post these on YouTube.
I do. They go to my channel because it's connected to my Twitch. So all I do is
You-
upload.
You have to change that, man.
That's what I was told him.
Nothing.
Told him, man. Like I said, I'll create a whole intro and everything, man, and get us some more viewers and subscribers, stuff like that. 'Cause without an intro, it's not as immersive, is what I would call it. Gotta have like a whole intro. It's like Billy Bone,
Well, it does-
Josh.
It definitely
Lindsay.
doesn't look as good.
There you go. There you go. I'm right about it. Give me the power, Billy. Give me the power.
Give you the power.
That's right.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
No, I'm telling you right now, Billy. If you give me this opportunity, I won't let you
just-
down, Billy.
We just watched Josh's video.
I was coming.
Yeah.
He's back.
He had to take his drugs real fast, you know. In the background. Dude, I'm so happy that I got my ear cushions replaced on my headphones. Oh yeah. That's right.
Oh, what headphones?
It's my Quiet Comfort Bose I've had for like a year. But they had this. Look, well, this is the state of one of the ear cups before, dude. Look at this thing. It's just separating from itself. Pretty bad. So I decided to get some replacements.
I didn't know you could order those.
Yeah, you can order replacement ear cushions. It wasn't too hard to install. It was a little difficult, but not too bad. Also replaced the headband on top too. Oh, Josh, I was gonna tell you one movie Billy showed me the other day that I'd never seen before was the Crow with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, I got something to say about that one and something else once we start recording. I might as well save this for the podcast.
Okay.
He also has never seen Conan the Barbarian.
I have not.
Or
I was late.
Or its lesser sequel.
It is a lesser sequel, but I do love it. But I was late seeing Conan the Barbarian, and it's amazing. It's so fucking good. I just recently went on like a Schwarzenegger kick, kind of. I watched Terminator and Terminator 2, and I was rewatching Predator last night. Arnold is actually better in Conan than he is in Terminator.
Because
I don't know about
he
that.
just says Crom a lot. Crom.
But he does a lot of face acting in it that you wouldn't expect. In Terminator, it's a little, I don't know, like it's like some of his faces are hilarious.
Uh-huh.
If you just rewatch Terminator,
Terminator's a better movie.
you know, for the longest time, I would agree with you. I don't know. After watching Terminator 2 has its problems.
What?
It's
Terminator 2 is
cheesy.
the best one. What do you mean? It's so good.
It's
you
a little,
what? Did you watch that YouTube channel I told you about? I mean, have you checked any of it out?
yeah.
I watched the one where they rated the RoboCop and Terminator movies. I thought going into that movie that T2 was going to be number 1, but it came in number 3.
RoboCop came in number 1.
RoboCop came in number 2. Terminator came in number 1. But apparently it was really close between all 3 of them. And RoboCop was in first place until like the last day or some shit.
Yeah, it's hard to rate those movies though, because RoboCop, the first one is satire.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even. It's like making fun of action movies, but no. Now I watched the found footage one. I watched the werewolf one.
I haven't seen the found footage one.
Yeah, the host, the Josh guy host, he's okay. He's not really captivating, you know, or funny, or interesting. But he does his job. I mean, hell, it's okay.
What are you reading, Chris?
Just some trivia about the movie. See if there's anything interesting.
You ready to
I went
start?
to.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say I was gonna tell y'all that I went to the theater
Oh, did you?
two nights ago. Yeah, I'll save it.
Okay. I think I know what you're talking about, but we'll save it for the podcast.
I mean, there's only one movie out that anybody's going to see right now.
Oh, I know. 'Cause Sweden has very small movie theaters, right? Ain't that right?
We do get movies later.
Yeah. America, baby. We get everything first. That's right. USA, baby.
What are you doing, Chris?
Sitting here.
He was making some kind of noise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking bone. Just
Somebody has.
stop making noise. Stop making noise.
The little things that y'all do that you don't think makes noise is extremely loud.
I told you we should record
Like
the
I
audio
can,
through Discord.
I can tell you, like when you was just sliding that paper back and forth across the table with your hand, comes through loud and clear.
Dude, you should use Discord to record the audio.
We can't use Discord to record the audio
Why?
because you
Can
can't
you
do
ever
that,
try?
can you?
Pretty sure you can.
How?
And Discord, you just record Discord, the application, just like you would any other thing. Because QueenFeed gets rid of any type of background noise filtering, like Discord has already built into it. I'm sure there's a way we can do it.
You know what,
Figure it out
Chris?
now.
Maybe you should run this whole program.
I'm telling you, dude. Look, because again, QueenFeed doesn't have any background noise filtering for all the stuff that you're hearing, but Discord does. Like I could do this all day long, and you would never hear it on Discord, but here, you hear it.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing it from? It's
Yes,
Clean
it is.
Feed?
Mhm.
Yes. Because QueenFeed basically doesn't have any background filtering at all.
But there's a way to save the file from Discord?
Well, I'm saying you record the application and stuff like that, right? I mean, but you're saying is what QueenFeed basically.
How would you record it?
We'll figure that out eventually. I don't know yet.
Oh, so you don't know? You're just making shit up.
No, I know you can. There's a way to do it, but I don't have research yet because I just mentioned it 5 seconds ago. But hey, I'm still on probation here, so you guys get to decide whether or not I get to do it. So if you guys don't want to do it, I'll do it.
Do what?
I'll make it happen. Do the channel and stuff. Do the audio. And
Oh
stuff.
no, you're not doing the audio.
Oh, okay. Then whatever. Then you can't hear. I don't want to hear any complaints about noise in the background.
No, be professional.
Professional. Oh, I am being professional. I'll fix the audio.
Chris, be like Bone was last time we recorded. Be professional.
Oh yes, right. That's right. That's right, isn't it, Josh? Dang, you got him on that one.
I
heard
don't.
about that.
Talking about me.
I don't remember hardly
You don't remember
anything
anything.
about that.
Yeah, over here deleting the episode and everything too.
Yeah, I don't remember like falling asleep or nothing that night.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we had to sign off while you
I
were.
I don't remember that. I don't remember falling asleep here. I don't remember falling asleep like in my bed.
Oh, yeah. Well, you fell asleep before you got to your bed.
You fell asleep before the podcast even ended, basically.
Yeah.
I did the outro. I will say I did it
All
for
right,
the outro.
here we're about to start. All right,
Okay.
ready?
Yep.
Who's seen Wayne's World? 5, 4, 3.
3, 2, 1.
No, you don't say it. You don't say it. No. Chris had never seen that also.
Yeah, I saw it recently. That or that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But yeah.
Did you watch any of the sequels? Bogus and
We watched
Wayne's World
Bogus
2?
Journey.
I
We
watched-
no, I don't have Wayne's World 2 because iTunes refuses to put that bitch on sale unless it's a part of a double pack.
I saw that you bought Sucker Punch.
$5.
Overpaid.
Dang. is that bad?
Overpaid.
Never saw it.
It's. I don't know.
See,
I
the
don't
good
know.
thing- the good thing
I
about-
technically haven't seen it.
The good thing about $5 movies is that you can buy bad movies and then still watch them and enjoy them and not have to worry about actually paying a bunch of money for them because they're only $5.
I am quite certain that there were other $5 movies that probably were better than Sucker
What?
Punch.
I bought like 10 movies.
Yeah, I saw that. It was. I'm trying to think what all you had. It was Sucker Punch was the one that I like. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be a bad movie. I just got it just to watch it. Yeah, so you see, I'm sure Chris was excited when Oppenheimer won all the Oscars.
Very excited. It's a great movie. I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. Great.
I don't know if 4.5 stars is enough to win Best Picture.
I think it is. It's no movie out there is a perfect 10 out of 10 movie. No, none of them are.
Have you seen
There's
No Country for Old Men?
I have. It's not a 5 out of 5. because it's a very slow burn movie in some parts.
Oh, I almost
And,
choked on my drink there, Josh.
dude, it's
When
not.
he said it wasn't 5 out of 5.
It's not. There's no
Get
perfect
the-
movie in the world. No, there's
There
not.
are
There's
plenty
not.
of perfect movies.
Get the
Nope.
fuck off this podcast.
No. It's a slow burn type of movie.
You and Daniel just need to talk about movies. Apparently,
Oh, look, I'm just saying.
just
There's no
review
perfect-
like
Daniel-
Godfather Part 2.
Yeah, Daniel's stingy with that 5-star review also.
Dude, you can nitpick one thing about any movie out there. Any movie out there. You
Exactly.
can't ever say.
So-
yeah, exactly. You can't say it's perfect.
Exactly. So you're saving your 5-star rating
Uh-huh.
for something that's perfect.
I mean, I have to, I guess.
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
If every movie's flawed,
Yeah.
then you could still rate it 5 stars, and you just say that this is the pinnacle of movies for you.
I mean, I guess.
A movie
Yeah.
can be flawed and still be a perfect movie.
But isn't that the oxymoron of perfect, that it's flawed?
No, because first off, it's your rating system. You base it off how much you enjoy it, how much you appreciate it. No Country for Old Men, as an example, you said it's a slow burn. Well, it's a slow burn on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the one problem I have with No Country for Old Men is so minute that it wouldn't stop me from rating it 5 stars.
What's your problem with it?
The movie takes place in 1980, and the famous scene with Anton Chigurh in the gas station, you see like Jack's beef jerky packs in the back.
Oh.
Like you see like 2007 packaging, and I'm like,
Oh.
how did nobody catch that? Other than that, it is goddamn perfect. I mean,
Dude, Josh and I freak out about some jerky, man. It's like, get that jerky out of the fucking shot.
no, everything else is so specific to 1980 except that,
Yeah.
and it sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Oh, man. You can never rewatch the movie and never notice that again, dude.
It is funny though, Chris,
Yeah.
because
Excuse me.
I was probably a little too harsh on Critters 2, admittedly.
Uh-huh.
But it is funny how you rate that a 4-star movie. 4 stars, but there are no perfect movies like No Country for Old Men.
Wait a minute. He gave Critters 4 stars? Critters 2 4 stars?
I'm pretty sure I
did?
did. I did.
Yeah.
God.
Dude, it had a good beginning, middle, and end. It was great. I
No,
love that
no.
movie.
By your system, it's
Yeah.
perfect. It's a 4-star movie because you enjoyed it. 4 stars.
5 stars is perfect, though.
No, but if Critters 2 is 4 stars
Yeah.
and Oppenheimer is only 4.5,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But you saying that there's no 5-star movies,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, there's 4.8 star movies. They're close to perfect. Getting there. You started recording yet, Billy?
Yeah, we started recording.
Oh, okay. Cool. I thought you were.
You can't tell. Josh just started making all kinds of background noise.
Oh, Jesus, sorry.
God. Now, speaking about, since we're recording,
Apologies.
now, I just want to mention to everybody real quick. So I do have a 5-star movie right out of the gate. It's called Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. Everyone should just check it out right now for me. Okay. That's all I want to say.
This is your fault, Josh.
I love that movie. It's great.
Yeah, I know.
That is.
Not
like I said,
one
we gotta
word
do a-
spoken.
We gotta do a watch along. We really do.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, when my schedule changes at the end of the month, we can try that.
Right.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get through, but I'll
No,
power
yeah.
through.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Dude, look at the cover art on the steelbook. It was so good. Look at the balls. They're all different colors.
It's better than the movie.
Oh, nah, Josh. Dude, look at this, dude. It's great.
I got a steel book in front of me too.
What do you got? Oh, get out of here, man. You're so lucky with that. You're so
Super
lucky.
Mario Brothers movie for $9.
You're so lucky with that. Man, we didn't even do an intro or anything for the movie we're going to be discussing today.
Oh, we get there. We just start off and we're just chatting.
Yeah, I'll say this. I went to go see Dune 2
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
of days ago.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
What other movies out?
Well, the one you saw, you didn't tell us because of things, but Escape from New York.
No. Oh, A Chair from New York was, it was fan-fucking-tastic.
And you'd never seen that?
I'd never seen it. And I'd never seen a movie on 35 millimeter. Outside of, maybe going to the movies in the 80s. And it was, it looked like, and it was held at the Stockholm Film Institute. And they got up there and they said before the movie started that they had to borrow this copy from Finland because their copy was non-workable. This copy looked like it was on its last legs. It was, you talk about just the pops and everything.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And they're doing oh my God, this month and next month at the Stockholm Film Institute, they're doing Kubrick and Carpenter. This was the first of the Carpenters that they showed, and they didn't show them in chronological order. Like April 2nd, they're showing The Thing. And it's like
Man.
a goddamn 5-star movie. One of my favorite movies of all time, hands down, easily.
Yeah.
Gotta go to it. It's showing on film too. It's not like, it's either 35 or 70, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I went to go see Dune 2, and I honestly can say that I can't even form a valid opinion of Dune 2 because I went with my buddy Reese. Me and him both don't speak Swedish. Don't go see it if the subtitles aren't in English. Half the movie's in subtitles, and it was in Swedish. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, I was just sitting there for 3 hours. I'm like, man, I don't know what the. And then by the time the movie ends, I'm like, fuck, I kind of know what happens, but Dune 2 is dense with information,
I heard that it's amazing.
I haven't seen the first one. I need to watch the first one.
I still got like 19 minutes left in the first one.
Oh, really? Yeah, I really want to watch the second one, and I really want that Dune AMC popcorn bucket. Don't ask me why. Just looks cool.
But yeah, it is. It is a movie.
Yeah.
Like, see it on the big screen because it is capital B blockbuster. Because Denis Villeneuve. He's up there with Nolan and every director that's working now. He is. Mm-hmm. So the movie looks fucking beautiful. The sound, the score, everything. I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened though. Like, I know there was there's a lot of things me and him missed because of the dialogue. Because they're speaking that the desert. I've never read the novel. I don't know anything about Frank Herbert's book, but they're speaking the desert language, Because, the movie takes place with Paul and his mother being there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of information went over my head.
To rewatch it.
Speaking of that, what I was going to say before we started recording, I watched quite possibly one of the worst trailers I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God. Can I take a guess as to what it is? The Crow remake.
You goddamn right.
I said it looked horrible
goddamn
too.
Right. Oh
Dude,
my God.
It looks like it looked good. Dude, it's a modern remake of The Crow, and it's got Bill Skarsgård, dude. He looks good. He's a great actor. No, that movie's gonna be better than you guys think it is. The trailer may have been
No, it will not. It will not.
Doesn't look like it has the atmosphere of the first movie. I go ahead and tell you the soundtrack's not going to be nowhere near as good. I could tell that just by the fucking song they played in the
song
trailer.
they played in the trailer was one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. Like, I know I'm speaking very, in grand measures here.
Yeah.
Worst trailer, worst song. But it's seriously, I clicked off the trailer, and I'm like, Jesus, I hope not one goddamn soul goes to see this movie. And look, I'm not even a big fan of the first one. I think the first one's overrated. But what the first one had was atmosphere, which they completely take. And fucking Bill Skarsgård looks like the fucking Jared Leto's Joker. Get the fuck out of here with
Yeah,
that
no,
shit.
I didn't like that
Get
either.
the fuck out of here. Why does everything has to be like edgelord? I mean, fuck.
It can't be worse than Madam Web. I mean, it can't be worse than that.
You know,
It can be. It can be.
Oh no.
um,
No, it can't. Yeah, now with Bill Skarsgård.
and I don't know because obviously I haven't seen the movie, and none of us have because all we got right now is a shitty trailer. But the trailer kind of hints at too, like that his girlfriend doesn't die. He has a chance to save her.
Yeah. It also hints at a conspiracy theory, which wasn't in the book or the graphic novels. It was just like low rent thugs. Like, why are you making this bigger than what it needs to be?
Yeah.
And and then when he does come back in the movie, in the 94 original, he's not like this uber badass. He's just a fucking zombie, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
So
everything about that movie to me is kind of what's wrong with mainstream Hollywood. Like, just right
So-
there.
Fun fact about that director who's directing it: he directed Ghost in the Shell, the remake, 2017 with Johansson, and then Snow White and the Huntsman with Chris Hemsworth.
Both of them stone cold classics.
Look, it's got a 6.3, the Ghost in the Shell remake. So I mean, if it's around that same thing, then hey,
Wait a minute, is that on IMDb?
yeah,
Everything has a 6.3 on IMDb though.
not everything.
Or
Everything sits in the middle. Like nothing's too high, nothing's too low. I found that out when we recorded that episode that never got released, where where Josh passed out.
Whoa!
But it
Hold
was
on now.
supposed to be me, Josh, Reese, I think Olaf, right?
yeah.
Yeah. There you go with that pin again.
Jesus, sorry.
But yeah, we did that IMDb game that Josh wanted to do, and like everything just kind of sits around that. Because I was going too high and too low. Because if I thought something was bad, I was just like, oh yeah, it's got like a 3 on IMDb. Then they're like, no, it's got a 5.7, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these movies that we've sort of covered, me, you, and Dan. I mean, with this podcast, if we're not doing like Halloween, a lot of these movies that me and you would be high on, like you said, on IMDb, they sit like at a 6
Yeah.
or a 5.8, you know?
We'll have to see. How it goes.
So let's go ahead and address this real quick before we start talking about our movie. So, well, the movie that we're covering today was picked by Chris. It's Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which is a fun title. I just like saying that. Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
It is a good
It just
title.
rolls off the tongue. But you're probably like, oh, what happened to Critters 3? And see, what happened was we recorded the episode, but one of us wasn't being very professional, that person being me, and I forgot to download the episode when we was done. So it doesn't exist. And nobody wanted to subject themselves to Critters 3 again. So we just said, fuck it, let's move on. Chris, since I ruined that episode for you, Josh suggested letting you pick the movie.
Appreciate that.
And I had said in a text message, regardless if this movie's good or bad, I'm glad Chris picked this movie.
Oh yeah, it's got a good title and everything.
Well, it wasn't. That's not why I was glad.
Oh,
It kind of came out of left field. Like, this is like not a movie I was expecting you to pick. I guess you just stumbled across this on Shudder.
well, what it is that I kind of recently got Shudder and stuff like that from my Verizon carrier because I kind of get it included in my bill now, sort of, not really. anyways, but yeah, I came across it on Shudder and saw. I was like, this kind of looks interesting. I watched the first 15 minutes of it by myself, and I was like, I need to stop it here because I know Billy would like this movie. And so we watched it, and then here we are.
Bone, did you know about this movie?
Yes.
I just recently found out about it.
I'll tell you the reason I knew about it though was because of In Search of Darkness.
That's how I knew about it. Yeah.
And I'm sure we'd have come to it eventually, as far as like watching, not maybe not for this podcast, but like me and Chris would have probably got to it at some point watching it, just because it's kind of fits in with the movies that we've been watching on Night Flight Plus. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, there's a new movie on there. It's not new. It's from like 1973, but apparently it's like a lost classic, Messiah of Evil.
Never heard of it.
Exploitation.
Or was it on Shudder that movie's on? Maybe it's not Night Flight. Yeah, probably so. But yeah, so Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker was Chris's pick. I am pretty sure that a matter of fact, me and Josh just both said we've learned about it through In Search of Darkness. So I'm pretty sure that this was everybody's first watch of this movie.
It was.
I will say it was on my IMDb watch list.
Yeah.
So like, apparently they spoke pretty highly of it and they normally speak highly of it in the documentary In Search of Darkness.
Yeah.
But like, it was enough to where it's like, okay, this is interesting, and you know, I'll go ahead and put it out there. Glad I watched this fucking movie. Glad you picked it, Chris.
Oh yeah.
This is a
I had a good choice for once. Yeah, not the Last House on the Left 2009 remake. Yeah. Don't worry about that one.
you completely
Justin.
redeemed yourself.
Fuck Justin. That's right.
Yeah. Look, before you get into any of the details, did you know this was a video nasty?
No.
What is that? What is video nasty?
In the UK, they had at the beginning of the tape revolution, they had what they call video nasties, and they would just ban certain movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Obviously, Fulci. We've covered a video nasty on here with Fulci.
Yeah. I will say that that's kind of misleading sometimes, because me and Chris watched another Fulci movie that was supposedly banned.
Oh, God.
4 of the Apocalypse.
Don't get me started.
And it was nowhere, like, there was nothing in there that made me be like, I see why this movie got banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no. It is, and again, that Fulci does not need to do westerns ever. He's not the western guy.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, after watching this movie, like, how is this a video nasty?
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm
Well,
saying.
I'm going to assume it's probably because of the incest.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
it can't be
oh, this
anything
one? Yeah.
related to the physical violence on screen.
Yeah.
It can't be. Yeah.
Well,
Let's,
it wasn't- okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, let me get the information out of the way, and then we can
Yeah.
dive into it.
Yep.
So, Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, 1981, directed by William Asher, starring Susan Tyrrell, Jimmy McNichol, Julia Duffy, and Bo Stevenson.
Bo Svensson.
Oh,
He's Swedish.
Svensson. Okay. And movie is 96 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So what was it that made you pick the movie, Chris?
Really, the name, I noticed it immediately. That name is really catchy. And so I was like, that seems kind of interesting. And then I saw the actual artwork. Like, the artwork says, a hunting rhyme for bedtime. And I was like, that's pretty catchy, too. So I just started watching. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty crazy. And then I was like, yeah, then we definitely need to do this one. And plus, it's a 1981 movie. And a lot of 80s movies are either really bad, really good, or somewhere in between. And this one was, well, I won't say it yet, but
I think
you
you described every movie ever in every decade.
I did. But anyways, I liked how it looked. I liked the artwork and stuff like that. So And the name was really catchy, so that's what caught me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you'd never heard about it before?
No, I've never heard about it. I was looking through Shudder for wanting to watch a movie, and I saw this. Like, well, there we go.
The opening of the movie starts off with the parents leaving, right?
Yep.
And I don't know. I just dove right in. I don't know if there's anything else anybody else wanted to say. Anything else that anybody wanted to say, or what? But yeah. So we open up the movie. Mm-hmm. We've got the kid, watching his parents leave. The aunt, trying to comfort him or whatever. And we get, and I see, because when Chris told me about this movie, he said, "I got a movie we got to watch. It's crazy."
Yeah,
and I was
the
like,
first
all
15, I told Billy and then within the first 15 minutes of the movies, it's some crazy stuff goes down, so, yeah.
And he wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because that opening sequence with the car, and fun fact, I guess, about this, I don't know if y'all got this in your notes, I saw this in some, trivia. There was actually a different director for this movie, and they shot the opening sequence, which would be the car sequence, and then they were fired and they were replaced.
Oh man, we could have had a whole crazy movie just like that.
So yeah, so the scene opens up and the parents are driving,
mm-hmm.
and they're on this curvy mountain road, and their brakes go out.
Yep.
And instead of, I don't know, taking your foot off the gas,
yeah,
and I don't know, maybe driving into an embankment or something, these people just go full on swerving in and out of traffic.
Yeah.
End up rear-ending a log truck.
And he had so much time.
In their defense, it does seem to be downhill, like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, in their defense.
Even so, like when he was going toward that truck right there, like going toward the log truck, dude, man was like a mile away from that thing, dude. He wasn't even that close to it. He could have swerved to the right until he hit a rock or something like that and stopped the car. But no, man, it went full throttle into that log.
No, he couldn't, Chris.
What do you mean?
He had to throw his hands up like this.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh,
there was no time to steer.
Yeah, man. I was like, oh god.
But that
fucking gnarly crash, though.
Yeah, that log hits him right in the fucking face and
like a watermelon, dude. He exploded.
Pulls his head back.
Yep.
And then the car.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you watch that crash, and if you're familiar with Final Destination 2,
mm-hmm.
you're like, oh yeah, Final Destination 2 sort of
took inspiration.
Somebody saw this movie while writing Final Destination 2.
Yeah.
After the dad gets his head fucking smashed in by a log, the truck, or not the truck, the car rolls off the road and just falls off this cliff that I swear seems like it come out of nowhere.
Yeah. It comes out of absolutely nowhere.
Well, when I was watching, I assumed like it seemed like on a mountainside, like all of it was cliff. But that isn't what surprised me. Like, of course, it's on a cliff. I mean, like that's just how I took it. But I love, like, the mother is still alive. She's trying her best. The car's sliding off the cliff. It lands. And then you get like this extra fuck you explosion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For no goddamn reason.
Yep.
It wasn't even on fire at all. And it was in the body of water, too, for just a laugh effect, I guess.
And
it's crazy.
It was a legit sad beginning to me.
It was.
Because when they leave the baby is bawling its eyes out at its parents leaving. It is, like, I don't know how that child should have gotten an Oscar that year. Like, just because they must have, like, traumatized that kid.
They punched that kid in the face before.
They had to have done something.
They're just like action.
Shoot a puppy in the face.
And gave him a lollipop and took the lollipop away from him. It's like, you ain't getting this thing. You're going to start crying for us.
I'll say this. And, Chris, this beginning is kind of a good start to this movie. It's kind of shocking, like you said.
Yeah.
But if you thought these first 7 minutes was crazy, this movie keeps getting crazy and
Oh, it
keeps
does.
getting crazy. I mean,
It does.
the craziness is just sort of slowly amped up throughout this movie.
Yeah.
is.
So, after the parents die, it cuts to 14 years later, and we see Billy, great name by the way, sleeping in his bed.
That's right.
And his fucking aunt comes up to wake him up, and she starts purring like a cat and gently, like, scratching him.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. That was so weird, dude. You don't do that to your nephew, bro. Oh god.
Which we'll get to it. It actually turns out to be even worse.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
And then we get some shirts versus skins basketball.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what? I was surprised. I didn't know Bill Paxton was in this movie either.
Credited as William Paxton.
My goodness gracious.
I mean, this is before the Terminator, and
Yeah.
yeah, this has got to be one of his. You know, Paxton started out like as working on Corman movies. He just loved movies. He'd just
Yeah.
go in and work at it with Corman's production, just doing whatever he could. And I think that's where he met Cameron, because Cameron came up under Corman, and that would explain. Paxton was in, I mean, Terminator, Aliens, Titanic. You know, they had a good. But yeah,
Near Dark. I know it's not.
his wife
Can't-
directed it at the time, and
exactly.
he produced it.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, it was his wife. I was gonna say, I know it's not Cameron, but it was Bigelow. And you ever had a pickled tomato?
Oh, of course, her pickled tomato sucks, though. I've never, and I would never.
When I heard that, I was just like, "Who the fuck pickles tomatoes?"
That's
Dude,
what I'm
she's
saying.
pickling everything. She's like a Portlandia skit, like just pickling everything. And you know, this screenplay, I think it's based off a novel.
Yeah. That's what I read.
And you know, obviously, like the novel is way more information regarding this whole story and some of these backstories. But that novel has to explain where this fucking title comes from. It's got to.
I assumed that the baker part just had to come from, like, even though it's not baking, but you know, all the shit that she's fucking pickling or whatever.
Oh, that is definitely not. I know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
And the butcher part, you know, I think that's pretty self-evident. And
You stretching real hard to get there, Bone, though.
And Josh, how would you feel if you woke up and your aunt was standing over you, like scratching you and purring? That would have gave you a nightmare. So there you go, nightmare maker.
Yeah.
Butcher, baker, nightmare maker.
Yeah.
I was just looking for
Let me
reasons
ask-
to say it.
How old is Aunt Cheryl?
Does it ever say? I mean, she's
I
maybe like
could- no.
45. 40,
You
something like
could-
that.
Yeah, you couldn't get a handle on it because earlier, like her friend, her only friend,
Yeah.
mentions that there's a 35-year-old single guy. So obviously she's at least in her mid-30s.
Yeah.
But it's hard to nail down how old she's playing because obviously this is a low-budget, almost made-for-TV movie. Of course they don't, you know, de-age her in
Yeah.
the first scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get a... But yeah, I would guess mid-40s maybe.
Yeah, probably so. Like 40, 45. That's what I would guess.
But this is 1981, so people just age different.
Yeah.
You know?
They really doing that kind of thing for sure. Yeah, we're going back to Billy and stuff like that. Did it ever mention? He's not the captain of his basketball team, is he? I don't think he is.
I mean, he's a star.
Yeah,
He's going to get a scholarship.
Full
Yeah.
ride to Denver.
That's right.
University of Denver, yeah.
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 UD.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know where this movie takes place?
I do not. Did it say?
I think it's Arizona, isn't it?
I
They
think so.
mentioned Flagstaff and
Oh, then it has to be Arizona. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah,
I-
but again, even going past the car scene and stuff like that, like when we first start meeting Billy and when he's 14 years older, and then the cat purring and stuff like that, creepy as hell. You know, even some crazy stuff happening within the first 15 minutes. I mean, shoot, it gets wild real fast.
Well, let's talk about it then. So
Mm-hmm.
what Chris is talking about is the first murder. I don't want to say death. Well, it may not even be the first murder, actually, because you're led to believe that the brakes were tampered with later on in the movie. They talk about it.
but later on, yeah.
Yeah. So this we get the first on-screen murder
On-screen.
that we know is
Yeah.
like actual murder, but it's the catalyst is Billy wanting to go away to college. She doesn't
Yeah.
want him to go away,
Yeah.
and they have an argument about it. And she tells him to finish making his own birthday dinner, and she goes to her room, and then she ends up giving him this birthday card, telling him like basically good luck with the scholarship, and she's acting like she's okay with it. And then she's like, "Hey, can you call the TV repairman? The TV's
Yeah.
messed up." And he's and then he's like, "Sure." Well, he's actually like, "Why can't you do it?" But then she's like, "You know him." And so he comes over to fix the TV. She tries to pay him with sex like this is a fucking porno.
Yep.
And she's like, I need a man. And he's trying to push her off. And then she ends up stabbing him.
Yep.
And Billy comes in and, she tells him that he tried to rape her.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of kicks off the entire sort of the plot of the movie.
Yep.
And the scene plays like she's coming onto this guy very hard, and she says, "I'll do anything to you," and the guy finally gets fed up, and he's like, "Well, basically suck my dick,"
Yep.
and then she gets mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't really make any sense to me, but sure.
She slaps him, and then I didn't know what to expect watching this movie, but when she grabbed the goddamn the butcher knife.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to town on him, and then Billy walks in. And this is when the movie, for me, becomes like, okay, this is pretty good, to, okay, this is fucking interesting now. Because
Yeah.
then you got the best character in the movie gets introduced.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about the cop?
And it's the cop, Bose Vincent, the detective.
Yeah, Sergeant Cook. Sergeant Cook.
Yeah. Look, I think we both,
Oh, sorry,
Like-
no. His name's Detective Joe Carlson. My bad.
Carlson, yeah.
Yeah, Carlson.
I think all three of us can agree that Susan Tyrrell, who plays Aunt Cheryl,
Yep.
fantastic in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah. Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
fantastic. And Bose Vincent, who plays Detective Carlson, man.
Yeah.
Svensson, you're not supposed to like him. But I love him as a character in this movie. Because there's so much about this guy that is just, I don't know. He comes on and he sort of commands the screen. And, I don't know why he would not interview Billy alone. He interviews everybody
Yep.
in a group.
He's like the worst cop ever, though.
He really is.
Or worst detective ever. He immediately decides, and he decides that Billy was the one that committed the murder,
Yep.
and it was a homosexual love triangle
That's right.
that spurred this on. And you can't tell him otherwise. He will not, throughout this whole movie, he will not listen to anything else other than his theory about it being a crime of passion between two gay men or three gay men.
He doesn't lean into that until he gets the ring, though.
That's right.
Because you see Billy in his relationship with his basketball coach. And his basketball coach, if anybody is familiar with the band Future Islands, the basketball coach looks just like the lead singer of Future Islands. And I have to say this, speaking of Future Islands, who's a band I like. Anybody listening to it, YouTube, y'all need to go see Future Islands perform Seasons on Letterman. It's one of the greatest videos on YouTube. I watch it once every 3 months. Love it, love it, love it. But the basketball coach favors him. But Billy in this basketball coach has this warm, what you would expect like a really good coach to have with his star athlete.
Star athlete. Yeah.
It's very warm, very kind.
Yeah.
So when this TV repairman dies, Carlson finds the dude's ring.
Yep.
I don't know how big this town is, but he knows it's the coach because it's just initials, right?
Yeah, it's got
That's
it's
on
got,
this.
Yeah, it's got PB and then it's got TL. I think he said something like that. Or on the ring.
And that's when he clings on to the gay love affair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even before, like, I guess that though, when she's telling him the rape story, and there's no reason for them to believe otherwise.
That's
Well,
right.
I guess other than like they came in and Billy was holding a knife, but I guess what gets me is he just dismisses the rape story right in front of her, and
Oh, yeah.
right in front of everybody. And then also in front of the fucking neighbors that just let themselves in the house. That's one thing I noticed about this movie is that people will knock, and if nobody answers, they just come right the fuck in.
That's right.
And Chris asked me, he's like, "Was that how it was in the 80s?" And I'm like, no. People didn't just let themselves in.
Hey, they're your
Maybe.
neighbors, though.
That's how it is in
Maybe.
horror movies. People just let themselves in.
Yeah, but also, Joe Carlson did ask another cop as well, like, do you buy this rape story? They're both like, no, we don't, because there's like no evidence that he was. There's like her clothes weren't torn or nothing like that. There's no evidence that she was raped, you know. So like, they're kind of already not buying like immediately.
The dude's
so, like,
obviously stronger than her. Like there
Yeah.
have been some sort of evidence of
yeah,
it.
yeah. It just is not adding up.
But what's interesting in that interrogation scene, like he doesn't believe her.
Yeah,
The rape claim.
yeah.
But in all fairness, Billy isn't helping his case either.
He's really not, dude. He's acting like a crazy person basically the whole time.
He really is, and so
If you just cooperated, it'd be a lot easier. You know, the cops over here asking him all these questions and stuff like that about what happened and stuff like that.
or maybe
And-
interview these motherfuckers by themselves.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe
I'm
that would
telling you.
help.
I got a note right here, and I'll just read it to you like out of context.
Uh-huh.
Between you and me and everyone, because at one point there was two people talking, and there's just like between you and me, but everybody
yeah.
could fucking hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because again, cops is terrible at his job. You know, it's like, man, you're a detective. Like, you don't need to be one.
You find out though that part of the like you're kind of led to believe when it happens that this is just like a crime that kind of happened in the moment, right? A murder that happened in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
But apparently, she had a plan in mind, and this was part of her plan in order to keep Billy from going to college.
Yep.
You know, this happens, and now there's no reason for him to leave, and you know she's having that. You see that she's got like a little shrine in the attic that she tells Billy to stay out of. That she's turned it into an apartment for him next year.
That's
But
right.
he's like, I'm going to college, and she just kind of brushes that off. And I guess talk about this attic for just a second.
Yep.
She's turning this into an apartment for him, which that sounds cool. I wish I had an
Yeah.
attic that I could turn into an apartment. Maybe not now, but maybe when I was younger, if I wasn't so damn poor. But she tears down a wall,
Yep.
and we're getting ahead of ourselves. But she makes this room for him. How does he not see this other part of the attic? that she opened up.
Yeah. And then the room she made for him is filled with all like kids' toys and stuff like that, which is even creepier. Like when he was like 5.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
no.
this is her going full blown crazy now. Like that's
Yeah.
What's creepy is the fucking skeleton that's in the
Oh yeah.
other part of the attic that Billy just for whatever reason doesn't fucking see when he's up there.
Wasn't the
Was that
skeleton
in the attic?
basement? I thought it was in the
I
basement.
thought it was the basement.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was
No.
basement. Yeah, that was
Oh,
basement.
well,
Yeah.
Well, that would explain a lot then. Never mind.
Yeah. The attic is basically the room she made for him with all the old like family stuff, like pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the basement is where the body and all that stuff. is
Where the
at.
body's
That's
at,
right.
where
that's right.
where the pickling kind of comes
Yeah.
back. But
Yeah.
Bones, since you fucked up there, I'm gonna circle back to where people can ignore your inability to watch a movie and follow. I love Detective Svensson because we haven't really talked a lot about
Carlson?
the neighbor. Yeah, Carlson.
Dang, got him.
Now we're going to let
Not
Chris
really,
talk.
Chris.
Now we're going to have to let Chris talk because you fucked up also.
So, anyways, Detective.
Well, I called him by
Carlson-
his real name, but Carlson, like the neighbor lady, apparently Cheryl babysits her
Oh, yeah.
child or her
Yeah.
grandchild. It's hard to
Something
tell.
like that,
Again,
yeah.
1981. It's hard to tell these people's ages. They could be 30 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
So this neighbor and her are pretty close. So but they were all getting together for Billy's birthday dinner before she killed the TV repairman. So they're all in this kitchen, and this is what makes Carlson such a great character because he's such a fucking asshole.
He
Like
is.
I love a good asshole in a movie. Like I love it. And they're sitting at the table, and the neighbor, the friend, tries to talk to Svensson Carlson. And he's like, "Are you talking to me, lady?" She's like, "Yes." He's like, "Don't."
Yeah.
Just fucking ices her out so beautifully.
Yeah, he's a dick through the whole movie because, like, when the other cop or detective starts looking into some other things, he's like, "I hope you're not doing this on my time."
Yeah, on the police farm time. Yeah, Sergeant
Yeah.
Cook. Yeah, Sergeant Cook is the one who. Sergeant Cook is actually really smart. He pieced it together really fast what was going on. But fucking Joe Carlson, man, didn't give a shit. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah, well, not only did he not want to hear anybody else, but he has it in for gay people. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a homophobic. Yeah.
he hates gay people,
Dude.
And
He
he
does.
straight up told the coach after he talks to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I found this ring, like the ring that Josh was talking about," and he goes, he makes the connection like who's who, and he's like, "Yeah, y'all are both, homosexual. You should resign."
Yeah.
Just like tells him basically, like just give up your life, or I'm going to
Yeah.
ruin it for you.
Yeah. And it's not. He doesn't just call them homosexuals. I don't want to repeat that particular word, but he's a very derogatory term to describe the homosexuals for sure. Yeah, and it's not very friendly. Let's just say that he's not very kind.
I mean,
towards those type of.
that was probably implied by the fact that we said he didn't like
Yeah.
homosexuals.
Yeah, well, there you go. But he was like really, really bad. Yeah. So he just hates them. But yeah, he's just the worst type. He's a terrible cop, terrible person, terrible human, and yeah, there you go.
I'll say this, and I don't know. I might be, speaking out of turn here, but to me, when I watch this movie, it plays pretty realistic how I would imagine gay people being treated in 1981.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's fair.
Yes.
It doesn't feel over the top. I mean, now if they made this movie and it was 1981, the cop would have beat him up.
Yeah.
And in this one, he's just like,
Verbally abusive.
I don't like your lifestyle in a
Yeah.
non-showy way.
Oh yeah, and then the cop when Detective Joe Carlson finds out the coach is gay and stuff like that, he goes to him. He's like, "Hey man, it's like you're gonna get fired or you're gonna resign. If you don't, you're gonna get lynched." And I'm like, "Whoa, what the heck is going on, dude? Like, what? What are we talking about here? That's ridiculous."
Yeah,
And then-
Detective Carlson's a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I could watch him all day in this movie.
Yeah, I
Like I
could
said,
too.
I love a good piece of shit. And it is interesting because here on out, like we know, or at least I felt pretty confident that Billy wasn't gay. But the entire backbone of the movie from here on out is the murder case. Is Billy gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's almost like
he's got a girlfriend, Julia
Yep.
Duffy.
Yep.
They've she refuses, Billy refuses to say if they've had sex.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie's throwing all these things up in the air, and it's handling it pretty well because you're left to believe, well, did we see something that happened or didn't happen? But we know Susan Tyrell Cheryl is crazy, though. We know that.
Oh yeah.
well, she even eats like a psycho.
Yeah, she does.
The scene where he's playing with his mashed potatoes and she's like cutting that steak or whatever and just shoving it in her mouth.
Yeah.
But-
oh my god.
There's like, and what you were talking, like I think hitting at Josh was, there's like two main storylines happening in this movie. There's the detective and his crusade against Billy and the coach and the TV repairman, and then there's Cheryl's manipulation of Billy and trying
Yeah.
to keep him from going away to college,
Yeah.
and her incestuous feelings for him. Because she makes a comment at one point, and I can't. It was early in the movie, and said something about making her happy or whatever, and then she goes, "You make me happy."
Yeah, I mean, it is borderline cringe. I mean, and I hate even using the word cringe, but it's supposed to be unsettling and upsetting.
That's right.
But it is something about the way she plays it, which adds another layer of gross,
Yeah.
you know? And maybe it's all the goddamn milk that just. Milk is so gross in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Milk is probably what got this movie a video nasty in the UK.
I don't doubt it. Dude, I saw that milk. I was like, dude, why are they eating milk and I think steak at the same time? Like, what is this?
Oh, Jesus.
Well-
and the milk's so thin, too.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably 2%.
It has got to be 2%, yeah.
But I will say this to defend drinking milk with your meals. So my grandmother, my grandfather,
Old school, man.
yeah, it was milk at dinner.
Yeah.
Well, grandma drank tea, but me and granddaddy had milk. And I'm just I'm not a big sweet tea fan.
I used to be.
Have you ever noticed that sweet tea, even when it's full of fucking ice, never really feels cold? It's still just, there's like this weird layer of warmth around the ice cubes in the glass,
Yeah.
to where when you take
You're
a
right.
sip of it, like it's got ice in it. You're expecting something nice, cold, and refreshing, and instead you get this weird kind of like warmness that shouldn't be there.
That's because it's tea, though.
Yeah.
It's brewed hot.
And then I'm
Yes.
just, and like I said, I'm just not the biggest tea
Wait.
guy.
Let me ask you, when you made your tea and stuff like that, did you make the tea, then immediately pour it into like a cup? You didn't put the tea in the refrigerator or anything like that?
No, I'm talking
No,
about
I don't
yours.
think. Bones probably like me. Me and Bones never made sweet tea.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean-
then-
Yeah, get that right.
No,
Okay.
We're drinking it from Memo.
Even like at restaurants, when I would drink it every now and then, it always just never seemed like it got like really cold. And I don't know, it just
No, I know what you're saying. Like the first sip is cold, but something about like the tea and the sugar,
yeah.
it does not keep the coldness. I will say, like, I don't miss sweet tea. I gave up on that, God, years ago. But every time I'm back home, I have to buy a jug of Arnold Palmer.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because I was going
I
to say,
love Arnold Palmers.
I recently had tried the Monster energy drink Arnold Palmer, because we were out of the white ones at work, and the white being my go-to flavor because it's the best flavor. we were out though, so I was like, "Fuck it," I'm gonna try one of these lemonade teas, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, this is pretty good. I didn't know I was missing this.
Oh, Arnold Palmer's, man, it is a goddamn delight. I love them. Love 'em. I don't know about Monster. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know because I always buy the unsweet tea Arnold Palmer, unsweet tea lemonade, and it is chef's kiss.
Well, I think it's supposed to be unsweet tea in the Monster version too, because it's the lemonade.
Sugar free.
Yeah, well, the lemonade also gives it like this sweetness.
I'm surprised they have Arnold Palmer in Sweden.
No, they do not.
He said when he comes back home.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Like that Arnold Palmer Monster, like we have all the flavors. That one will never come to Europe. Quite confident, or at least not to Sweden.
Wait, Sweden is in Europe?
What?
Wait, I thought Sweden was like in Asia or something.
What? Chris? You're joking, right?
Chris didn't take geography.
I don't know continents,
What?
bro. I'm sorry.
I'm not
What
on
is
the
it?
continent.
What?
I mean, I guess Europe.
Oh. I thought Sweden was like next to like Greenland or something. No?
No, Chris.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
We're gonna need you to look at a map after this.
I guess so. I'll get
Chris,
I know
sweetie, what?
I know the US is at.
Sweden's in Asia, Josh.
Which is near Greenland.
Dude, I don't know maps, bro. I can't even give you directions from my house to like where I work at, dude. I know how to drive there, but if you need to go me like 5 miles in the opposite direction, I'm done for. I have no idea, dude. I have to use the GPS for everything.
Chris, I think you began this podcast by going like USA, USA.
I did.
Not a good look for America.
Oh no. Well, I didn't say anything about us being smart.
So going back to what you were talking about with the gay angle, I never got the impression that it was up in the air whether Billy was gay or not.
Right.
And I don't know, and maybe it was because we immediately see him in the bed naked with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Of course, Cheryl,
Not immediately though. Not immediately
yeah.
because
that's true.
the coach does interview her. He's like, "Have y'all made it?"
Yeah, I know.
Coach,
Well,
and
when I say immediately, I
detective.
didn't mean like exactly. Then I'm just talking about is
Eventually.
you see it like you see him in the bed pretty early in the movie because
Yeah.
Cheryl catches him and she's like,
Yeah.
get that slut out of my house.
That's right.
Yeah. I never bought into him being gay, but the movie does toy with that idea, and I think it toys with it in a pretty efficient way.
You know what's kind of funny? I don't mean to interrupt you, Josh, but it's kind of funny. When the coach in the beginning toward the movie asks him to come to his office, that's the first thought I had, is that they had some type of relationship. I don't know why. I just thought that immediately. And I don't know why I thought that. I just thought that. So it's kind of funny. It kind of played into that.
Because you're not an athlete, Chris.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess not.
Me being a finely tuned
Oh, is that right?
Specimen.
peak
Yeah.
human performance.
7 foot tall giant.
My first thought when he called him to the office was he was about to tell him he was getting to be a starter.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what I thought. I didn't know it was because there was a potential for him to get a full ride to Denver University or University of Denver, whichever way it fucking goes.
Yeah.
I just thought he was about to call him in there and be like, "Hey, congratulations, you made the starting lineup."
Yeah.
But that's just like I said, the athlete in me.
But
Is that right?
again, this movie, because like you come to find out, like I think this was before Carlson put together that the coach was gay, but he meets up with the coach, and then it's later said like to Aunt Cheryl, like they had met for an hour. I don't know. That's a long time.
Yeah, no. So yeah, no. It was I know what you meant. That was Billy caught up with his girlfriend, and he's like, "Hey, I had to be with the coach," and she's like, "For an hour?"
Yeah, for an hour, and
Yeah.
you know, just that dialogue.
That's kind of
it's
like, I was like, "What do you mean an hour?" Now it's kind of a long time for just talking about some scholarship or something like that, But like,
Well, once again, Chris,
oh god,
not
Yeah.
being the finely tuned physical specimen that I am,
Yeah.
Those conversations can run long.
Man, hand him the scholarships. Like, here you go. You got it. See you later. And it's not too much to it, I would imagine. What does he do? Hold on. What does he compliment him for an hour for? Is like, you got the scholarship. Good job.
Oh, no, they could be.
No, he didn't get the scholarship. He was telling him that the scout.
The scout
Oh,
was
yeah,
coming.
yeah, the scout.
But they could have been
sorry.
talking. They could have been talking about his future, though. I mean,
guess.
that's an easy conversation, I think, to take up an hour, honestly. And not, all kidding aside about being the peak of the human physique or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
Wait,
like,
were you kidding? You ain't kidding.
No. I do 360 tomahawks all the time, Josh.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm not talking about tomahawk steaks, Chris. I'm talking about like.
I mean, I don't like
Slam dunk.
steak anyways. I don't
Oh, that-
care about steak anyways. So
That's right. I forgot. You're weird.
yeah, I don't
Wait.
like steak. So
What's a tomahawk steak?
It's a cut. I think it's the one where you got like the bone, and the meat's only on one side. Because you have like a T-bone where it's on both sides of the bone,
Yeah.
but a tomahawk looks more like an axe.
Okay. Like kind of like what you think of mutton.
I don't know what I think about mutton.
oh my god.
Yeah, when I think of mutton, it's like meat on one side of a big bone. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe that's just
understand why-
cartoons.
I don't understand why there's different cuts of steak, man. It's steak. Just eat the steak.
Because it's different parts of the.
Chris, now you're just flaunting your ignorance, buddy.
Wait.
Just flaunt
wait. Are you saying it's different
Yep.
parts of the animal?
No, it's
You're peacocking your ignorance.
yeah, it's different. It's different parts. Like it's different cuts of meat. You like chicken, right?
I do.
Does the breast taste the same as the thigh, or is the leg, or is a wing?
I've never had a thigh, so I couldn't say that. I've had a breast and I've had tenders and stuff. I mean, I like tenders a lot, so I guess not. They don't necessarily taste as good as wings. I know. I don't like chicken legs. I'm not a huge fan of fried chicken legs.
Well, anyways, the point of what I was getting to is that that meat comes from different parts of the chicken, and
Yeah.
it tastes different.
Yeah.
Pork comes, pork products come from different parts of the pig, and
Yeah.
it tastes different. A pork chop doesn't taste the same as bacon.
Wait, is burgers are pork, right? Or no?
No. Beef.
Oh. Okay.
It's what's for dinner.
What's for dinner?
You don't remember that ad? Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Is that from the 80s?
McConaughey did it. No, McConaughey did it for a bit.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know Arby's, we have the meats. I know that. There you go. That's what I got.
So, yeah, the scout's going to come to the school. He's going to come, watch Billy play because apparently Billy is like all state or whatever. I don't know.
It's just good.
And his aunt drugs him
Yes.
before the
Does.
game. And
Yeah.
he starts the game off pretty hot. Like
Yeah.
he scores a quick 6 points. And here's what I don't understand. And me and Chris talked about this briefly when we were watching it. When he starts to feel the effects of the drug, he misses 2 free throws.
Yeah.
And then he catches a pass and he's running and then he runs right into the fucking wall
Yep.
and passes out. Surely the scout knows that that's not because he's a bad player.
Yeah.
Like something just had to be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. Scouts, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe the scout thought this guy's just an idiot. This is a waste of my time. Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's never even discussed because, did the scout judge him for that? But Billy should have the wherewithal. Once you see in double vision and your future's in the balance,
Yeah.
pull
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, man.
Just pull yourself and tell the scout, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, he fucking plows into this wall, and this just we tie it back to The Simpsons a lot, right? Because that's one of our favorite things to do in this podcast is how can we relate this to The Simpsons? And you're gonna love this one, Josh. What's his girlfriend's name again? Is it Julie?
It is Julie because the actress is Julia Duff.
Yeah. So she comes up.
Julie Duffy.
She's sitting there checking on him, And she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? You okay?" And Cheryl comes up and just throws her out of the fucking way.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Radio Bart. You remember that episode when he's in the well and Sting's digging, and Sting breaks through, and he's like, and Bart's like, "Sting!" And Homer comes and just shoves him the fuck out of the way.
And I think I've brought this up before. It's also like Santa's Little Helper when Bart gets the new dog,
Oh yeah.
and then just shoves Santa's Little Helper out the way.
God, dude.
Yeah. So
She just throws her.
she pushes him out of the way, and then the next morning, Billy's getting up to go to school, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I gotta go to school." And she's like, "Oh, you've learned enough."
Yeah, like she said,
Yeah.
I can home teach
Oh.
you. I can teach you at home everything you need to know. You don't ever have to go back to school. It's like, man, he's starting to get a high school diploma. Did GEDs even exist in the 80s? Or no?
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I say it's a slow descent. Like right now, we're like downhill, brakes cut, descent
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking mommy dearest crazy mode. Now it's the train has left the station,
Yep. Yes.
and she's really taken a liking to poisoning milk.
Yeah, she really is, dude.
I mean, nonstop.
And they never mentioned what type of poison it was, did they? It's just some type
No.
of poison. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming it was just some kind of like medicine
Chloroform?
that'd make you drowsy or something,
Yeah.
like some really strong like concentrated medicine.
Like Advil or something?
Yes, just like Advil.
Does Advil not make you drowsy? Thought it did.
I don't know what. Well, I mean, if you're taking Advil PM,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, but it's in the liquid form she had. So she had some strong stuff. And it acted... See, that's what I don't get, though. It acted like... So he took it. I guess he went straight to school. But, like, they have warm-up and stuff like that. Wouldn't it have affected him faster than, like... when the game started? Like,
no,
that
she gave it to him before the game, not before school.
No, before the game started and stuff like that. Or yeah, right. But I'm saying he had to go to school, go to the locker room, had to warm up and stuff like that, then get ready to play and stuff. I mean,
No, he would have came. Depending on what time the game was, he could have came home before the game.
I know, but I'm saying like wouldn't the effect started before the game even started, or no? You don't think so? It's like I mean, they didn't give us a time frame between when he drank the milk and then went straight to the school to go start the game.
When you have a headache and you take this Advil, does it immediately
Right.
cure your headache?
I mean, I guess not, but I know some medicine starts working within 30 minutes.
Yeah, but it takes time. It still takes time.
I guess. But it's just kind of a coincidence that it started working right when the game started and stuff. It's crazy. And I'm assuming because of that, what happened, he definitely did not get the scholarship.
Well, it didn't. It didn't
Yeah.
happen right when the game started, actually, because you see him. He scores 6 points before he
Right.
starts feeling the effects. He's out there, man. He's balling. He's out there scoring buckets. He's out there playing defense, making passes. And then it kicks in, partway
Yeah.
through. And he did. I'm assuming he did get the scholarship because you see the text crawl at the end of the movie where it talks about the things that happened, and it says him and Julie are both at the University of Denver.
Yeah, but it never said though that he was actually playing or anything like that at the.
He didn't. He had to have gotten a scholarship because they alluded to the fact that they don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
So he, unless
Dude, wait. If that's true, what kind of scout are we watching here? Dude, this scout is the worst scout ever. It's like, dude, all right, screw whatever happened in the game. Like, you're going to college anyways. What?
Well, I
Nah.
mean, it's just one game, and you have the body of work to look at.
I get that, but the scout's only there for one game though. Like,
Yeah,
he only
but-
sees them in action.
But there's still. That's why you have stats, and that's why you have videotape, and
I guess. But if that was a scout and I saw this dude stumbling around and stuff, like, nah, we ain't doing that, dude. Get out of here. Not a shot.
I don't know if y'all talked about it because I left momentarily. right before he goes to the big game with the scout,
Yeah.
he gets up, he puts his clothes in his bag, and he does this little. I'm gonna say cute. He does this little cute thumbs up to his Kareem Abdul-Jabbar poster as he walks by, and he's like this.
Oh my god.
I made a note of that. I'm like, oh.
There's the cringe again. Cringe is back. Oh no.
So Josh had talked about it, and he had talked about how like you see Cheryl unraveling
Yes.
and coming apart, and then we get that. We finally get the scene where she's, I guess, in the basement. What you guys said, and I was just wrong, but we see that she's got a dead body.
Yep.
Now we don't see that. I don't think we see the head in the jar until later.
That's
but there's
right.
a body in there, and she's got like this little shrine built
Yep.
to what turns out to be like a former lover of hers.
Yeah. Frank.
Which looked a
Frank.
lot like the dad that left at the beginning. It was hard to, like, I thought they were the same guy.
I guess they look kind of close to identical to each other, I guess, but
They both had the same hair. Like,
yeah. Yeah, but that
dark.
lover, that was Frank, her former lover. Frank.
Yeah, and Julie has got to be like the toughest person in a fucking horror movie.
Oh, dude,
Because
she's ridiculous.
she gets hit in the back of the head with a hammer
Yep.
and lives.
Yep.
Then she gets her head bashed in with a rock
Yep.
and lives.
Yep. Then she gets put under water too. And
Oh yeah,
gets put
we'll
underwater.
get there, but the,
Yeah,
the
cuts
end
it
of this movie plays like a Friday 13th movie, like the
It re-
original.
I was telling Billy the whole time, like when stuff was happening, like the music gave me Friday the 13th type vibe, you know?
Well, they're definitely leaning, it felt like, into like Julie being like the final girl. You know how
Yeah.
final girls
Yeah.
meet, the antagonist, and it did feel like that. Yeah, it gave me original Friday 13th vibe. But
and I don't know if y'all noticed this. I think I made a comment to Chris, but after she hits Julie, somebody comes over. Was it the neighbors again?
Yeah, it was
mhm.
it was
That's the woman.
it was, it
And
was,
and I'm sure they just let themselves in.
they do.
They
it
did.
does.
And there's blood on the fridge, and
Yeah.
nobody fucking sees it.
Yeah.
And then like Cheryl just cleans it off with her clothes
Yeah.
in front of everything, and nobody
Yeah,
fucking
it's-
notices this.
Yeah, it was Billy, it was Cheryl, and it was Margie. Margie's the neighbor. Yeah, and then they come over, and then I think she's getting her milk or something like that, because of course milk again. And then there's blood right on there from when she hit her in the head with the mallet. Yeah.
But Cheryl has gone like, and this is for Daniel if he listens. This is for him, buddy. I know you're going through a tough time. This is where she goes Super Saiyan. Bad guy.
Dude, man.
Because she cuts her hair. And that's
Yeah.
what all
Yes.
crazy people do. That's what you
Yes.
do when you're going crazy. Cut
Yes.
your own hair. She does a pretty good job. I'd let
Yeah.
her work on me. Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad. But, and then that's when. No, yes, because Billy thinks he's being poisoned. And him and Julie come up with this plan. Because there's a lockbox.
There
We're
is.
skipping over a lockbox that, for some reason, when Billy wakes up in his pretty cool attic apartment,
Yeah.
he
With all
could,
his child belongings.
yeah, that he could still probably pull some pussy in. For some reason, she brings this lockbox that she wants to keep secret
Yeah.
up there with her. Bad move. If
Yeah.
that's where your secrets are at, won't you not show Billy the secret box?
Yeah.
Because now he's wondering,
What's in the
say it,
box?
Bone. There you go.
Oh, I said it. Bitch to
That's
it.
an alley-oop, baby.
What's in the box?
Alley-oop.
What's in the box?
That's right.
Look, I just want to point out that Billy, throughout this entire movie, if he wanted to, based on looks alone, he could have joined Cobra Kai in 1984.
That's true.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Wouldn't miss a beat.
He would
100%.
he would fit right in. You could just
He would.
you could see him down
He
like
got
on
the
the
feather hair.
Yeah.
And, yep.
you could see him down on the mat. Like just taunting Daniel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cobra Kai.
That's right. Yeah, and then
When did-
regarding the go ahead.
No, my bad, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say regarding the lockbox. I was gonna continue about where we were at and stuff. But basically, his girlfriend comes over and he wants her to distract Cheryl while he goes to investigate what's in that box and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where we left off at. And then
Oh yeah, that's where she gets hit in the head.
yes,
Mm.
yeah, yes, yes, yeah. His
Yeah.
in the head, and then he's able to find out. But here's the thing, though. He's searching the box, and then Cheryl comes in and finds him snooping through it, and she freaks out, dude. It's like she drops the plate she made of all this food and stuff like that, and it's like, how dare you go through my stuff, and then kicks him out of the room and stuff like that. But I think he was able to find some note right before she comes in that kind of gives him a clue about everything that's going on. Yeah.
And for the life of me, I can't remember. But when do we find out that Cheryl is Billy's mother?
I think he read that note and then he found out. I think that's when he found out, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, because the neighbor's eavesdropping, and that's when
Yep.
she finds out. When we find
Yep.
out.
Yeah, because she poisons Billy again.
Yeah, she's forcing the milk down his throat this time, and it
she
gets on
is.
his face, and you
Yep.
get, just. I know the actors aren't related, but in the movie they're mother and son, and she
Yeah.
licks the fucking milk
Oh.
off of him.
Yeah,
This
dude.
this is Fulci eat your heart out. This is the most disgusting scene I've ever seen.
Dude, I wish Fulci had directed the movie. This would be a really good Fulci movie, man. But nah, he missed out.
Well,
on
no,
this one.
she wouldn't have licked milk off his face if it was Fulci. She would have stabbed him in the eyeball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, she would have poured milk down his eyeball.
And
then
then
licked
stabbed
it.
him.
Yeah, then licked it off. Yeah, yeah. But then, that's when they find
Speaking
out.
of, let me just do a little side tangent here, right quick. It'll be quick. I'm just gonna take a detour. I'll get back on the road fairly quickly. Have y'all seen Thanksgiving?
Not yet.
Oh, you're talking about with oh my god, the guy from Suits. You talking about that guy? What's his name? It's the new horror movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the guy from
was-
Suits in it.
Was
Nobody
Patrick
wa-
Dempsey in Suits?
Nobody watched Suits.
Nobody watched Suits, but
What do you mean nobody watched Suits?
Nobody besides you.
You were like the youngest person ever to watch Suits. I will say that.
What do you mean,
Like,
dude?
that is like,
All right, fair enough. I didn't watch Suits all the way through, but I know what happens in the overall show. But yeah, no, that movie has what's his name, dude? Freaking, he's right there. Oh yeah, Rick Hoffman. Yeah, he played
Who?
Rick Hoffman. He played in Suits. He played
don't tell me who he played in Suits. I don't know anything about Suits. What
I
did
know
he play
about-
in Thanksgiving?
Rick Hoffman. He's like the main guy in Thanksgiving. He's
No, it's
Thomas
Patrick
Wright.
Dempsey.
well,
So-
okay, Thomas Wright. He played Thomas.
Josh, so before you go on your tangent, I just want to say this. We were watching a movie the other day, and Chris is like, "Oh my God, is that the guy from Suits?" And I'm like,
yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, we were watching Whiteout. It's got Kate Beckinsale in it, and it's like a
And it's got one of the guys
Mystery.
from Suits in it.
yeah. It's got the main guy from Suits in it. One of the main guys. It's got freaking what's his name?
Let me tell you,
Gabriel Mott. Gabriel Mott.
nobody cares.
Dude, Suits is such a great show, man.
Let me tell you what you need to know about Whiteout, though, Josh.
Mm.
You can pass.
It wasn't no Billy. Billy ended up liking it. I don't let him tell you that he ended up liking it. He liked it. I didn't really care for the ending too much because they spent all their budget on one fight scene in particular.
You
But
can
yeah,
pass.
Oh,
No. But Thanksgiving, it's worth checking out.
yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but if you're familiar with Eli Roth, and I'm not even that familiar with his filmography because it's not really for me. But Eli Roth he's a fan of Giallo, and it's evident in his movies, Hostel, whatnot. But there's a scene in the movie to where I thought he was going to go in honor of Fulci because this
Yeah.
one character's putting in contacts. And you hear the suction sound when it gets to her eye. It's so gross. And the entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, fuck, he is setting this up to make my asshole pucker up. Like, I had my hand ready to go over my eyes.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Was
go
it-
there, surprisingly.
I don't know if we'll ever cover it, but would you recommend the movie?
He just said it was worth checking out.
Oh, did
Yeah.
he? Oh. Sure,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
See, let me fill you in on how conversations work.
Okay.
When one person's talking,
That's right.
the other person should listen.
I was looking at the suits.
So you
page.
weren't listening. You were looking at the
course
suits
I was.
page.
No, I heard of the suction cup eyeball type thing. I heard that. I was listening. I did.
So Cheryl turns into kind of an ass to the neighbor, and basically trying to get her to leave. And she's like, well, if you don't need me, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, she just turns like frosty cold. And the neighbor is like, all right, well, I'm leaving. And she opens the door
Yeah.
and then she shuts it like she left.
Yeah.
But to her surprise, it's not fooling Cheryl. Cheryl fucking kills her with a machete.
Well, it fools Cheryl initially though. It does because she doesn't go looking for her 'cause she thought she actually left. And then what she does is that Cheryl's coming out of the room with Billy and Margie hides in some type of broom closet or something like that. In the meantime,
And that's where she finds Julie's backpack and her camera, because Julie's
right.
a photographer for the school.
That's right. So she finds that, and then she starts getting clued in to what's going on. And then it cuts to us seeing Julie in the basement when she's actually still alive, surprisingly, after that hammer hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think,
Yeah, she's...
according to my notes, the neighbor gets killed before we find out that Julie's still alive.
Did she?
Yeah.
No, well, no, that's not true, though, because the neighbor gets killed outside when she runs out of the house and stuff like that, right? She runs out of the house.
But
That's
there's
the way
a
the
good,
note's
like,
written.
there's a good 10 minutes to where you think Julie's dead, though.
Oh, that's right. And then she
You
kills
know.
her. And then, oh, okay. That's right. That's right.
She'd put her in the basement, and I think
Yeah.
that's where you get the head in the jar.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Hey.
And that's the
Yeah.
reason why this lady loves pickling, obviously, because she's
Yeah.
pickled ahead.
Pickled ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but she kills the neighbor pretty brutally. She comes out of the bushes and stuff just when the neighbor thought she got away, and she has this machete, man. She just goes to town on her. Goes to town.
And the sergeant shows up.
Yes.
And you were talking about Jalo earlier. It's a very Jalo-like scene when she chops that dude's hand off.
Oh, yeah. The detective who's on the up and up.
Yeah, the one that is actually doing detective work and hasn't just decided that it's because, these three dudes were in love with each other.
Yeah. He's the one who and you kind of figure it out as the movie progresses, but he's the one who actually brings it to the attention of the plot, like maybe these brakes were tampered with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
And I knew from the beginning, it was pretty obvious that she had tampered with those brakes without even us knowing the plot of that, It's like, it's definitely the aunt, or I guess the mom now, that tampered with the adopted parents. Which, by the way, we haven't mentioned yet. Those parents adopted Billy, and they wanted to take him away from Cheryl. So that's why she went crazy and did all the stuff.
Is that how you say aunt? Do you say aunt?
Me?
Or do you say aunt? Yeah.
I say
I'm just
aunt.
asking.
I say either one, I guess. Depends on what mood I'm in, I
You
suppose.
say aunt. Because you said it all the other night, too.
Oh, aunt? Yeah, then aunt. Yeah, aunt. Yeah.
Okay.
Aunt Roberts,
Okay.
Aunt Cheryl. Yeah. Hey, why would you call it aunt? Aunt's A-N-T. That's like a bug. What? Aunt's
Well,
is aunt is aunt.
Champagne spelled C-H. We don't call
Uh-huh.
it champagne.
That wouldn't be bad, though, That wouldn't be bad. But no, aunt is spelled A-U-N-T. Aunt is spelled A-N-T. I mean, I'm saying it right.
I was just curious. I mean, I say aunt, but I mean, I wasn't judging at all. And yeah, I mean, you're right. It's spelled aunt, but I say aunt.
Aunt. Is that right?
Just
That's
curious.
right. That's right. I say tomato. I don't say tomato. Who says tomato? No one says tomato. That's right.
No, I think
You know there's a given.
I think there was a stand-up comedian who says that, like the
Tomato?
typical potato, tomato. Nobody says tomato. Nobody says
Yeah.
potato.
Yeah.
Everybody says potato, tomato.
That's right. Yeah, it's like ketchup. You know, everyone says ketchup. No one says catchup.
What?
No one says ketchup. You know, everyone says ketchup. You know, like ketchup. It's ketchup. It's got an E in it.
Yeah,
So-
I've never heard anybody call it ketchup. I've heard it called ketchup.
You know, each part of the world has different sayings, I guess.
Moving on.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
Here, just let me read from my notes.
Okay.
Did Cheryl kill Julie this time?
Oh God. Yeah.
That's twice. That is twice. That like
Yeah.
Julie's goddamn fucking T-800.
And then
Dude.
there's this very it reminded me of Nightmare on Elm Street when she says, "I'm your girlfriend now." You know, I'm your boyfriend now.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, ugh.
Dude, that's his fucking mom, dude. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, so everything's finally coming to a head.
Mm-hmm.
And what Chris, you probably remember it better than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through the confrontation between Billy and his mom.
In terms of, oh yeah, like we're talking about like after
And
we see
in terms of what happened.
what part?
The confrontation between Billy and his mom at the end of the movie.
The final confrontation.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you know, basically, I lost my train of thought. I ain't gonna lie to you right now. I lost my train of thought. All right, so remind me. Give me a little context real fast. Hurry up. Just give me something. Give me something.
So movies have 3 acts.
Yes.
There's a first act, a second act,
Oh,
and a third
God.
act. And in the
Okay.
third act,
Yes.
there's a resolution to all the problem, but there's usually a conflict that
Yes,
happens
there is.
before the resolution.
Yes.
And so we're in the third act of this movie,
Yes.
and there's a conflict.
Yes.
All right, I've asked the wrong person. Josh, walk us through it.
I just had a brain fart for a second. I'm trying to think the conversation, the final conflict between Billy and his mom and stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, now no, sorry. Okay, it just came back to me. Okay, yeah. So basically,
Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
Before you move on, I just want to say
Yes.
this is going to be riveting
right.
podcasting.
yes, it is. I got it now. I came back to me. All right. So basically, they're in the house. They're in the house, and they're not outside, nothing like that. They kind of end up in the living room, which is good, I guess, because it makes it very interesting and kind of cool. So anyway, so they get inside the house, and then they start kind of throwing hands and stuff like that because they're what?
Chris makes it sound like they're in a slugfest.
They pretty much are.
They
No,
started
but
throwing
so
hands.
no, they keep going back and forth, and this is when Cheryl gets she's gone. She's not at this point. She's not human anymore. She's an animal at this point. She's just gone berserk, and so she's basically just madly in love with Billy. She at this point we think that Joey is dead at this point. And so Joey's dead at this point. She just killed Sergeant Cook. She's gone. Yeah, again, Sergeant Cook is dead at this point. And so they get in the living room and they go back and forth, and eventually gets to a point where they're struggling back and forth, fighting each other. Because again, at this point, Cheryl's actually physically attacking Billy. That he pulls out. He finds like this scalpel on the ground or something, like this knife, and stabs her in the heart. And so she's dead. And then he gets on the phone. He calls up.
Hold on, let me jump in real quick.
Yes.
So we think she's dead.
Yes.
And when she's in the process of dying,
Oh yeah.
she gives Billy an open mouth kiss.
Yeah, she does. And then when she starts to die,
I
she
forgot
flutter her
about that.
eyes. Yeah. But then we see Billy go to the phone. He calls up Coach Tom Landers, and he's like, "Hey, I just killed my mom." And he's like, "What?" And he doesn't understand because his mom's already been dead. He thought because he didn't know that that's his mom. And so the coach said he'd be right over. And then all of us, go ahead.
The reason he called the coach is because earlier in the movie, the coach told
Yeah.
him, like, if you ever need anything,
Call
and this
me,
is after
yeah.
he resigned, after he was forced into resigning
Yeah.
by this bully ass detective.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, call me if you ever need anything. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's right.
Chris.
Yep. So he calls him up and he's like, "Hey, I need your help. Like this just happened. I just killed my mom." And then the coach's like, "Oh, I'll be right over." And then all of a sudden, Cheryl comes up out of nowhere and it starts attacking Billy again, even with a fucking knife in her heart. She just yanks it out like doesn't even care. This woman had to take some own drugs or something like that to keep going. Like, she is ridiculous. So she starts attacking him again, and they're just fighting all over again, basically. And eventually, it gets to a point where Billy kind of backs up to the fireplace, which he kind of foreshadowed in the movie earlier because Cheryl was burning some documents. And so it kind of backs up to the fireplace. He gets the fireplace, agitator, and stabs her in the stomach, and then she dies. Officially dies.
I have never heard anybody call it an agitator.
What would you call it? Fire stick poker?
Poker.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, well.
I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I've never. I mean, obviously you've heard that somewhere.
My own brain, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just work here. But so he kills her finally, and she's actually dead this time. So she's dead. And then that's where the fight sequence ends and stuff like that. But where the fight sequence ends, another thing picks up in its place.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Okay. Well, then after that, we then see not Margie. Sorry. His girlfriend Julie is still alive. So we finally see her still alive. We think everything's over. The coach comes over, comforts Billy and that kind of thing. He's like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay." Then fucking Detective Joe Carlson shows up once again. Our favorite guy in the movie walks in and sees Billy, the dead body of Cheryl. What's up?
Let me just set this up real quick and you keep going.
Yes.
Before he goes in the house,
Yes.
there's already a cop there, and he alerts him to the other detective who's dead
Yes.
and the neighbor friend.
That's
So
right.
Carlson knows he's walking into a situation,
Yeah.
a proper situation.
Yeah, and man, he's ready to jump on this thing. Man, he walks in there, they just bust the door wide open. He's like, "I'm here," and so he confronts, the coach, the dead body of Cheryl, and then also, the girlfriend's in there as well.
Yeah, because Cheryl tries to tell him that it wasn't Billy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It wasn't Billy that killed the people. It was his mom.
Yeah.
And this guy he's already made up his mind. He made up his mind in the first 20 minutes of this movie as to what happened. So he's not hearing any of it.
No, he's not. And then basically what he does, he fucking pulls out his gun. He aims it at Billy. Or is it at the Billy or the coach? Was that the Billy? I think it was Billy, right? It was Billy, yeah. Ready to pull the trigger on this kid. And he thinks this is just done for. He thinks he's like the worst person in the world to murder the guy. And then I think, did the coach intervene?
What are you clicking, Chris?
Huh?
Are you clicking something?
What do you mean?
Are you clicking something with your hands? You're making a noise.
Oh, am I? Oh, yeah, it's my flash drive. Sorry. But yeah, so we get to the point now. He points the gun at Billy, about to pull the trigger, and then I think it was it the girlfriend or was it the coach that kind of...
The coach gets pistol whooped.
That's right. But yeah, I think the coach gets the gun out of his hand, but then
not
Billy,
before Carlson can hit him over the face with it, because it's a pretty gnarly cut.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he cuts it pretty bad. But then eventually, the gun gets knocked out of his hand. Billy picks up the gun, and he makes the decision to, not, let some other cop know that, hey, this cop's corrupt or something like that, and he's about to murder me. But he decides to murder the cop and kill him and stuff like that. I guess in self-defense, which it pretty much is.
I was kind of surprised he shot the cop after he,
I was too. I didn't think he was going to do it.
Had him at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I figured they would have just,
arrested him, get it to the cop in there or something like that. No, but then, it worked out though because, so he killed the cop and that kind of thing, which it was good because that cop was definitely going to murder both of them while everyone else was outside. And then you're like, oh, they attacked me or something like that. And that's kind of where that ends up and stuff like that, which is,
the movie ends and you don't really get an ending. It reminds me a little bit of like older movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you watch like Dracula or something like that, where after it was done, the movie just cuts to credits. Well, this movie it's about to cut to credits, but then you get like a little text crawl over the screen, kind of telling you like, oh yeah, Billy and Julie ended up at the University of Denver.
Yeah.
And
it explained
Billy
also
was acquitted.
Yeah, that's right. He was acquitted because
insanity.
That's it. I was about to say because if they didn't mention that, it could have kind of left off on a bad note because we didn't know why he didn't get arrested for killing that cop. But yeah, temporary insanity.
Well, I will say this: just it took a step that most movies in like the 80s didn't really take because, you know, in these horror movies, all these people die all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then the killer ends up getting killed by the heroine or the hero.
That's right.
And in real life, there would be more to it than that, but everybody's just like, oh, yeah. No, there's never any kind of like cop intervention or anything like that. Nobody's ever questioned any of these kills in any of these movies. So, I mean, here, at least, and nobody ever like says what happens after the movie's over. So at least here you do get like a little closure, even if it isn't just in text.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that too. Like it's and you know, as Billy mentioned earlier, presumably he did end up getting the scholarship to be able to go to the college. So I mean, that's cool that he got that too. You know, it worked out for him in the end very well. He still got his girl, the invincible girl. She could get hit by a bus and she would still live probably.
She's gotta have brain damage at this point, right?
So I mean, something, dude, because she hit that mallet on her like twice, dude. It was a pretty good wood mallet too, not including the drowning almost and everything.
I mean, I think we can all agree that this relationship probably is not long for this world between Billy and Julie.
You don't think so?
I would worry about some crazy residue rubbing off on Billy. Like, I could see like a sequel of him doing something insane. But I guess the reason why you do get that scroll at the end, I would assume because this is based off a novel. And I guess that's how the novel ends. You know.
I actually, so that's the funny fact about that. Now that you mentioned that, I'm glad you did. It said about the novel, it says the novel it goes past the movie's ending. It wrapped up like some characters' fates who aren't addressed in the film itself. So I guess some side characters, I guess, you know. But yeah, it gives it more context and stuff like that. Yeah, and in the book it differs. So at the beginning we see the parents' fate and stuff like that. You know, the break stuff like that. But it doesn't tell you in the book about that until way later. So that's kind of interesting that it changed it up.
They just a little behind the scenes on this movie. I did read to where like during Svensson's death scene, they put the squib bone backward.
Oh yeah, I just read that too. Yeah.
And it got burned.
Yeah.
I bet you that shit hurts.
Yeah.
My God. And that probably ain't the first time that's happened on a movie set, like somebody putting a squib on backward.
So, Chris.
Yes.
This was your pick.
Yes.
We'll let you decide where you go. Do you want to go first, second, or last?
I'll go last, like I always do.
You don't always go last.
Okay, well I'll go last.
Man, this is why you're on probation.
No, I'll go last. I like going last. And let's get to the thoughts of you guys. Oh, by the way, before we do that, real quick, one trivia fact I thought was pretty interesting. Julie Duffy, Billy's girlfriend in the movie, she's actually 10 years older than the actual actor who played Billy. She's 30 years old when they filmed this movie. She looked like she was like 18, so that's kind of.
She aged like wine, man. She was I recognized her, and I thought she was like on a show like Step by Step.
Yeah.
And I had to look her up because I've known about Julie Duffy forever, and I'm like, oh, she's from Newhart. If anybody's familiar with that, not the Bob Newhart show, but the '80s Newhart.
Yeah.
Which I love.
With Daryl, and Daryl.
Yeah.
Didn't she played in Drake and Josh? Didn't she? Pretty sure she did. Played some teacher, I think. Pretty sure.
We're grown ass men.
Oh, wait. Have you guys seen Drake and Josh? Please tell me you have.
Yes, I have a daughter.
There you go. Josh?
No, man.
His daughter's younger.
No. Okay. All right. Let's do the film ratings. Who wants to go first between you guys?
I don't know. It's Chris. You're mentioning Suits and then Drake and Josh. It's like.
Yes. You ever seen Home Improvement?
You'll never be off of probation.
No, yeah. No, I've seen Home Improvement, of course.
There you go. Home Improvement, dude. Great show. I that show. It's very funny. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Billy. What you got?
Yeah, we don't want to hear any more about your TV picks. You love every
show.
Man. There's never been a show where you're just like, yeah, I just wasn't impressed. You're just like, oh, this is a great show. This is a great show. This is a great show.
Yeah, give me another TV show before we wrap this up. Give me one other one. Give me one other TV show. Anything. Spit one out.
Erie, Indiana.
What is that? I have no idea what that is.
You know what? I love that pool, Bone. Love it. Love it. If that ever goes on sale on iTunes, yeah, consider it bought.
It's streaming somewhere because I was watching an episode.
Is it as good as we remember?
I don't remember because
Probably not.
because it was like the first episode I was watching. But yeah, probably
Yeah.
not. Because do you remember that show Tour of Duty?
Yeah, I don't remember it. I've never watched it, but I know the show you're talking about because it's got Miguel Nunez in it from Friday 5.
I loved that show when I was a kid. It's great. There he goes. He's got that flash drive in his hand again.
I do.
Yeah.
About to start clicking it, making a bunch of noise.
No, I'm not clicking. I'm just fiddling with it a little bit. I'm making it to where it doesn't do the click right now.
Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker.
Yes.
My thoughts on the movie. Josh
Yes.
hit on it. Like the first thing that stands out about the movie is just the performance of oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Susan Tyrrell.
Yes.
Like she plays this role so good and just becomes
Does.
more and more unhinged as over the course of the movie. The movie would have been nowhere near as good if she didn't nail that.
Yeah. Or they had a different actor, too. I think I don't know
Another actor could have probably done it. It's just
Yeah, but she portrayed Crazy really, really, really well.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Mm.
Thanks.
Okay. You're welcome.
So the movie opens up fast. You get to Paris dying. You get the first kill with the TV repairman pretty early in the movie, and then it kind of has a gap.
Yeah.
But it's ramping up. It's not like it's a boring gap where you're just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
please hurry up.
Yeah.
Some horror movies have all their kills on like the last 30 minutes of the movie. Some of them like sprinkle them throughout the movie. This movie does it a couple at the beginning and then a couple at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. It was, it's got some moments where you're just like, ugh, you're kind of cringing, like when she licks the milk off of him and she gives him the open mouth kiss.
That's right.
But it all just contributes to what I think the movie was trying to accomplish, and that's the way you're supposed to feel about it. You're supposed to shy away from it because you shouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah.
And then, like Josh said, you got the detective playing, the asshole detective. He nailed his role. You could have probably swapped Billy out with any other actor, and
Oh yeah.
and
It was
it wouldn't have made
yeah.
a difference. I think he
like
plays
Zac
it.
Efron.
he what.
What?
Anyways,
Which one's Zac Efron?
how would Zac Efron be in the movie?
Wasn't he? He wasn't on. What year was he born? Wasn't it?
After me and Bone, and this
Yeah.
movie's older than me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was born in
okay.
'80. This movie came out in '81.
All right, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Okay, moving on, Bone. Keep
Yeah,
it
okay.
going. I don't know what we're doing here.
I don't either. Chris is just naming actors that, whatever.
You said he could have replaced Billy or replaced the Jimmy Nichols, whatever his name is.
But anyways, I enjoyed the movie. I had fun with it. I'm glad you picked it, Chris. It was a good choice. I gave the movie 3 stars.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna echo what Bone says. I am glad you picked this. I don't know when I'd have gotten around to watch it, even though it was on my watch list. And this is a movie that I don't know. I love when we cover these little movies like this because who the fuck is talking about Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker?
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the things when we first started doing this podcast. If you remember, I was like, I want to cover some movies that aren't as mainstream. So yeah. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, this movie, like, it has this feel at times of a made-for-TV movie, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because they were taken serious back in
Yeah.
around these times. Like
was a made-for-TV
yeah,
movie.
yeah, and they put effort into it, and this has that feel, and this movie has like plots and subplots that it's kind of juggling. Now it is going off a novel, which kind of helps when you're doing this, but it's juggling them and it's keeping all the balls in the air, and it was, I was engrossed the entire time, and this movie has sort of gained like this cult following because it's 1981 and how they depicted a gay character, which you wasn't seeing a lot at that time. And like I said, like earlier, like you could see Carlson's character being like a homophobic guy from 1981. Like it just seems so real. And the way it depicts the coach, he's gay, but there's so much warmth and kindness from him. You don't get a lot of them, but you can tell he really cares about Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like you said, like Susan Tyrrell and Bo Svensson. I mean, if you replace them in this movie, the movie probably doesn't do as good. I don't think. What they brought to the roles. We didn't even mention, like, there's a scene where Billy's shooting basketball and Bo Svensson, Detective Carlson, walks up, Sergeant Carlson, and, like, he just shoots it, and then he's telling him how to, like, keep your wrist limp, and he walks away, and Billy's about to throw a basketball at him, and without even turning around, Carlson's, like, puts up his fingers, like, don't do that, son. And, like, he doesn't even turn around, and there's so much bravado with Svensson in this role. Like he does have, not as a compliment to these types of people, but he does have like this big dick energy about him, you know?
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's sort of like a cowboy walking around, just
He's the baddest guy in the room.
Yeah, and the only thing he's missing is like a 10-gallon hat.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, like there's probably a buffer of a half star when I watch these movies. Like there's movies that I'll rate, we'll talk about them, and it goes either way, like a half star. Like Critters, I gave 2 stars. Honestly, it's probably 2.5. A lot of movies are like this. With this movie, where I'm at right now, it's 3.5 stars. It could be a 3-star movie, really. But I was just impressed how they handled certain characters. Not with kid gloves. You don't want to say that because it's 1981. They have nothing to gain but they're treating them like real people.
Yeah.
Like the coach. But goddamn, Susan Tyrrell. I know for years she didn't watch this movie because she just thought it sucked, and then she finally watched it. She's like, "Oh, that's pretty good." It's like, yeah, your performance is amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah. 3.5 stars. Like people need to watch this movie because it's doing things that are interesting and you're not going to get from in a lot of movies.
Yeah, this is how horror movies really should be. You know, it's like actually pretty good. You know. All right, so all right, my turn, baby. Let's go. Okay, so I actually really enjoyed the movie. I actually liked it a lot. I didn't find myself getting bored with it at any particular point, which I have a problem with a lot of horror movies sometimes, where like, as Billy mentioned earlier, it'll kind of just get to a point where I was like, you want it to speed up and come on and hurry up, and because it's at a point where it's just really slow and boring. I didn't really have that with this movie. This movie had a good beginning, a good middle, and a really good ending. I thought it kind of summed it up pretty well. And again, the ending with the detective coming there, Joe Carlson, I didn't expect that to happen. The ending with Billy shooting him and stuff like that was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Susan Tyrrell, she did a fantastic performance as a ridiculously crazy mom, and I didn't expect how her good performance was going to be that movie. So that was cool. Personally, I liked this movie a lot. Originally I was going to give it 3 stars. I was, but after thinking about it and how there really wasn't a boring part of the movie, I'm probably gonna give it 3.5 stars, just where kind of Josh landed at. I wouldn't put it out of 4, and I wouldn't put it out of 4.5 or anything above that. just because of what the movie is. You know, it's definitely not a perfect movie in my eyes, but it was good though. You know, and seeing Bill Paxton as a kind of an early role, kind of a breakout role for him, that was pretty cool too. So yeah, I went
Playing a bully like he did in Weird Science.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool to see him in some type
Oh
of
my
role in the
god,
movie.
it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I've never seen Weird Science. I should watch it one sometime. No, but it was good. No, I like the movie.
Have you seen The Breakfast Club?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. That movie's good.
Sure you've seen one of them.
Did you watch?
Huh?
Did you ever watch Weird Science, the TV show, Bone?
I didn't really watch it, but I did look at the female lead.
Oh, Vanessa Angel.
Yeah.
I remember the name. Yeah.
Oh man, that was Billy's
Because
celebrity
it
crush.
came on. What was it on? It was on one of the channels that
USA.
had wrestling. Yeah, I was gonna say it was either on TNT or USA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, like I said, good movie, good ending. More movies need to be like this one. Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. That was Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. Check it out, watch it. Let us know what you think. And I think I told y'all this, and I'm trying to remember. We actually did have a request from a listener
Oh, okay.
about a movie to cover. You remember which one it was, Josh?
Yeah, it was the last voyage of
The Demeter.
the Demeter. Yeah.
Yeah. So, since this is like our first request, we're going to cover it.
Have
at
to
some
honor
point.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna cover it. Not exactly sure when, but we will watch
Maybe
it.
check with Daniel
Yeah, that
because we were supposed to do like a vampire. Yeah, we're
that's
gonna
right.
alternate
Yeah.
that with.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's the new vampire movie, right? Yeah, I know Jamal. Yeah, is that the guy from Game of Thrones in it? Doesn't it? The older
Alfie
guy?
Allen, I think so.
I think so. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. I saw the trailer from that movie and I was like, this looks okay. Yeah, it's on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be down to do that. For sure.
Well, that was probably going to be me, Daniel, and Josh. Actually.
Okay. Well,
So, sorry.
wait. Viewers. All right, you guys got to give me nah. You can't kick me out just like that. I'll be back.
We didn't say you wouldn't be back. We just said that that's a me, Daniel, and Josh episode.
We'll discuss that later. We'll discuss that.
But, all right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Be sure to check us out on the Instagram, Very Unreasonable Things.
That's right.
Facebook, Very Unreasonable Things.
That's right.
Twitter, VUT Podcast. At some point, because I keep getting hounded about this, I will set up the YouTube channel to where we'll have a Very Unreasonable Things actual YouTube channel to watch the videos on instead of
right.
my personal channel.
That's right.
I'm secretly trying to get famous by myself on my own YouTube channel,
That's right.
and Josh can't stand it.
That's right.
No, you know what? If you popped off from from your personal YouTube channel, I couldn't be anything but happy for you. Honestly, that'd be amazing for you.
But y'all got anything else, guys, before we sign off?
Yeah, I do. So, like I said, good movie. I can't wait till I'm on the next episode, guys. I just want to remind everybody to check out Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage before we go off, okay? Now, everybody has a good day. That's it for me.
That's
That.
going to be the next episode that me, you, and Chris do.
Hey, I'm down for that.
It's got to be a watch along though. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to do a watch along. We're going to try that again. That's right. Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll figure that out, and we'll do that.
And you've watched this, right, Boom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night,
I
everybody.
love you.
Love you guys.
All right. I downloaded it 3 times.
Okay. Are you sure? You did?
Yes.
Okay. Are we still live on Twitch?
Yes.
Okay. We are still live on Twitch?
Yeah, but we're about to not be because
Okay.
I gotta get to bed. Josh has got to be
Okay.
productive.
Yep.
Sure. And I had work
Yep. So
in about 5 hours.